In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 NCAAB matchups, and I'll break them all down with free winning picks so you can bet smarter and win bigger. But first, smash that subscribe button and ring the bell so you get our picks the second they drop, because when the lines move, the early birds cash in. And if you want the full winning sport picks experience, head over to wspicks.com and check out our VIP packages, or grab a free consultation with one of our professional sports consultants for the sharpest edge you'll find anywhere. That's where the real plays live. We are your bookmakers' worst nightmare. These are the games we're hammering, the ones the books can't afford you to bet. This is Winning Sport Picks. The free picks are about to drop, and they're coming in hot. We start with Middle Tennessee going up against Michigan, and right away this line tells the whole story. Middle Tennessee is catching 27.5, and anytime a number is that inflated, books are expecting a complete talent gap game, but they also know the public will hammer the favorite. Michigan laying 25.5 is one of those spreads where the odds makers aren't trying to balance action. They're positioning. They're letting casual bettors chase a blowout while quietly shading value toward the dog. When a total is sitting at 156.5 on the over and 157.5 on the under, that's a classic formula for pace-driven scoring where possessions pile up, but efficiency varies. Big spreads with high totals usually give underdogs more chances to sneak through the back door because the game stretches out. Middle Tennessee plus the 27.5 benefits directly from that long possession math, and it plays into late game variance that often punishes big favorites trying to shorten the game. Michigan should control it, but the number gives Middle Tennessee the breathing room we want. Next, we move to Arizona versus Connecticut, and this one is much more competitive. Arizona is catching 5.5, and anytime you see that number sitting above the 5 but not quite at 6, books are accounting for Connecticut's ability to dictate tempo but still leaving room for Arizona's physical style to create long, grinding possessions. Connecticut laying 5.5 is a win with structure line rather than a win with dominance line, and that distinction matters in college hoops. The fact that Arizona sits at plus 205 on the money line while the under is sitting at 156.5 shows the books are leaning slightly toward defense, defining the matchup more than pace. Total splits like 156.5 on both sides tell you they're confident in the number but unsure about which team pushes scoring direction. That's where the 5.5 becomes the pivot, and it's where the value comes in. Arizona thrives in games where the favorite wants structure, and catching 5.5 puts us right in that sweet zone where competitive possessions decide everything. Finally, we hit Alabama versus Illinois, and this line is one of the trickiest of the day. Alabama catches 3.5, and anytime a spread sits directly on 3.5, books are signaling a potential close game with a late possession swing deciding the margin. Illinois laying 3.5 tells us that the market respects their consistency more than Alabama's volatility, but not enough to stretch this into a higher key number. The money lines paint the rest. Alabama at plus 155 and Illinois at minus 165 is almost perfectly balanced between uncertainty and expected control, but the totals, 181.5 on the over and 182.5 on the under, show how fast this game projects to be high totals, like that reward teams with better transition structure and punish teams with inconsistent half-court offense, and that leans toward Illinois controlling pace. When totals touch the low 180s, games tend to create separation late because tired legs mean scoring swings, not defensive lockdowns. That momentum curve usually benefits the favorite, which is why Illinois minus 3.5 lines up with the tempo read. Now listen to me, those are the free picks, but the one game I am unloading on tonight, the game that's going to crush your bookie's soul, that's the VIP play of the day at wspicks.com. This is the nuke, the hammer, the max bet, the one play I've circled, the game that will bury your bookmaker 6 feet under. When it hits, and it will, your bookie is going to need a doctor, a lawyer, and maybe even a priest. If you want to ride with me on the biggest bet of the day, get to wspicks.com right now. Quick recap before we wrap. Middle Tennessee plus 27.5 in a game where the total supports backdoor volatility. Arizona plus 5.5 in a structured matchup where possessions narrow margins. And Illinois minus 3.5 in a high-pace environment where the favorite benefits most from late-game scoring swings. This is Winning Sport Picks, where we don't just bet, We bury bookmakers. Smash that subscribe button, drop your favorite plays in the comments, and hammer that like button like you're hammering your bookie into the dirt. We're cashing, we're dominating, and tonight we're dancing on the grave of your bookmaker. Let's go!